Guys, good afternoon. We're videoing this from our place up north and just wanted to show you the National Forest so you guys can enjoy the view while hopefully learning a little bit about Padsplit, about us, and about the process of buying homes. So a little bit about, Gina, why don't you just talk about a little bit about yourself and
Oh, me first.
oh yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
So I've been in real estate for over 10 years now. I started in new home sales. I worked for America's largest builder, D.R. Horton. So I'm used to high volume. Love doing new home sales, and some years went by and Brian and I decided to join forces and really work on building our rental portfolio. And that's how we got into Padsplit. That's my background.
Yes,
But now I
yes.
do fix and flips and all the other stuff too. So.
Yes, yes. I started about 25 years ago and have done over 2,200 fix and flips and real estate transactions. We're also licensed agents and contractors. And so, primarily, my background and my love and my passion has always been fixing and flipping properties. So, we've learned all the tricks over the years and how to find those. And it's a very exciting process. And so, we're taking kind of the tools of our background and kind of putting them into the Padsplit world. And so we'll tell you a little bit about that, but this video may be a little bit longer than expected. I just do encourage you just to hear about Padsplit, and if you heard about it and what amazing opportunity it is, I really believe that you have to take the time to do your due diligence and research. There's plenty of sources out there. We do it here locally. Padsplit's website is a great source. You can go on YouTube. We have videos, but there's videos from Padsplit. You just put in that search bar Padsplit and you can start learning about it. But before you dive in, I honestly believe that you should do your research and find out for yourself what we think is a one-of-a-kind opportunity. This opportunity blends the business model of actually making money in single-family residences, which is very hard to do anymore, and it also blends giving back to the community. And you're going to hear a lot about that today. And so you may not know that you're entering into a business model that you're actually helping the community. You're helping cure the affordable housing crisis. So that's a little bit about us, and so we'll get into some of the details. Babe, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about Padsplit? Maybe just briefly talk about how we got into it 2.5-3 years ago, and just talk about Padsplit in general.
So Padsplit was actually started in 2017 by Atticus LeBlanc in Atlanta, Georgia. His mission was to help solve the affordable housing crisis for so many individuals. 33% of Americans today cannot afford to live at the median income for a one-bedroom apartment, which across the nation is about $1,500 a month, which is a lot. And then you have utilities on top of that. So Padsplit started, like I said, in Atlanta, and it's slowly but surely spread throughout the United States. It came to Arizona in about 3 years ago. In January, it'll be 3 years ago. We were introduced to Padsplit from a colleague of ours. We were short-term rentals. We had a huge portfolio of
Fixing
that.
and flipping and all that.
Fixing and flipping and doing all that. Well, here in Arizona, there was a surplus of Airbnbs, VRBO. Everybody had them. And we were actively running 11 of them. And come summer months, if you don't have a pool for short-term rental here in Arizona, that's a huge mortgage that you're paying. So as we were starting to enter the summer months, we heard, like I said, about Padsplit from a colleague, and we went and met with the sales rep here in Arizona. And I am the cautious one. I'm always like, but what about this? Nope, what about this? What about this? And Brian is the visionary, but we left that meeting and I was blown away. I said, oh my gosh, what a wonderful way to help people in need, where I'm not having to worry about my reviews and how much coffee is stocked, or if the guests are going to be mad because there was a hair on the floor. Now I was really helping people. And so we decided to move forward with it. We took one of our Airbnbs in Scottsdale and converted it in about 2 weeks. It took us. We launched on the Padsplit website, and we filled the whole house in 5 days. So we broke all Padsplit's records. So we went full steam ahead, did it to 2 more Airbnbs, bam, bam, just like that. And then we said, okay, this is working. I love this. You love this.
Yeah.
Let's start looking for houses that will just not fix and flip, but turn directly into pad splits. So we started moving forward that way.
Yeah, you know, this was our journey and research, and then obviously we were able to get more comfortable quicker just because, you know, of our real estate experience. So if someone does not have a lot of experience, talk about, like, we struggled. Normally I'm really quick to make decisions, and you kind of got on board quicker than I did. But talk about, like, the fears of, oh my goodness, who's going to be staying? Is it a bunch of college kids? And, you know, are they going to destroy our homes? Like, talk about all those reservations, because I know people listening have those.
Yeah, I think the first thing that entered our mind was, I know I've said this 100 times, so everybody just gets to hear it again. But when I heard about Padsplit and I heard there are 7 or 8 different types of people living in a house, I went way back to the 80s, early 90s and thought of MTV and Real World. You know, 7 strangers put together in a house and all the cameras were rolling and it was mega drama. But when I started learning more about it and hearing about the median age, and we do have dogs up here, so if they bark, I'm sorry, I'm not good at editing them out. The median age and hearing more about these people, I kind of jumped on board. We're always looking, we're Christian and we believe in God and we believe in loving people and a way to give back, and there are so many people in need. But like you said, Brian, like, what were these people like? Was it going to be a whole bunch of college kids partying and everything like that? Totally has not been that way for us at all. It does take a little while to get comfortable and realize that, hey, you know what, this might not be my best friend, but this person needs a house, this person can afford it, and I'm going to help them along the way.
Yeah, and we had a lot of, you know, preconceived notions, which I want to talk about those as well. You know, who's going to be staying in there? Are they going to have vehicles? Are there going to be way too many vehicles out front? Are the neighbors going to be complaining? Kind of debunk some of those concerns that we had, just because we went through it and now we know that there's no issue. So talk about, you know, the age, talk about parking, talk about the neighbors and some of those big concerns that people really do have.
Yeah, everybody thinks, oh my gosh, how are you going to have 8 people? Where are you going to park 8 cars? The majority of people that live in a pad split do not have cars. Only about 47% of people have vehicles. So they're using public transportation like buses, the light rail, or they're using Uber, and a lot of them have bikes too. So parking is not really an issue. However, when we are looking at our houses, we're always taking that into play when we're walking the houses and saying, okay, is there ample enough parking to, you know, hit 5 people parking here and stuff. Back to the age thing, our average age is anywhere from 45 to 65 years old.
Crazy.
Totally not real world like, unless it's like the golden real world.
Well, we really thought that we were going to have a bunch of college kids here destroying, and then we had for a while there, she left now, but we had a 75-year-old grandma that was staying at our place. So what you think Padsplit is going to blow your mind, because it's a lot different for sure.
It really is. And I mean, it's not to say that you're not going to have some young people. I know we have some recent college grads or people that are going to school, but it's a lot less than what we had expected in the beginning. You asked about neighbors.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about the neighbors.
Tell us, you know, are we getting neighbor complaints? Does Padsplit get neighbor complaints in our experience? Talk about that.
In our experience, we really haven't had any neighbor complaints, because going back to the sense of, hey, there's not 8 vehicles parked in front of the house. You don't have people parking.
Nor is there 8 people there at the same time.
Correct.
Really.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Padsplit also has a lot of rules in terms of who's allowed in the house, and really there are no overnight guests. When we talk to our prospective members, I'm always very firm about, hey, there are no guests at all. So it's not like they're like, oh, you mean my boyfriend or my girlfriend can't come over? I'm like, nope, you can go over to their house, but they're not allowed in the house. And that's just for safety reasons, because we know that Padsplit does a good job vetting the people that are moving in, and we also do our own little research, but we can't vet all the friends that might come in. So I lay down that law with the potential members right away. So we haven't had any issues with neighbors at all. All the members,
they work different hours.
They do work different hours. So it's very rare that you walk into a house and 8 people are in the kitchen at the same time. It's everybody's on different schedules.
Okay, so the last bit, real quick. Um, Co-living's been around for years and decades, actually, where people rent out rooms. Happens in California all the time because their affordability issues. So talk about Padsplit. How does Padsplit bring the members, which are the tenants, in the normal,
yeah,
right? And then the hosts are the landlords. So what does Padsplit do, and why are they important in their role?
So number one, Padsplit is a tech app, just like Airbnb or VRBO or any of those technical services that connect the two people together. So Padsplit is the largest co-living app in the United States right now. So their job is to advertise, screen the members, and connect them with the host.
And they spend what, $500 to $700 per room?
They do, yeah. So they
to fill your room.
Yeah, they're spending the money on advertising. So it's not like if you have a rental, like you're posting on Facebook Marketplace, or you're, putting it on Craigslist or Roomies or anything like that. They're taking that out for you. So they are awesome at doing that. They're awesome at advertising.
And pre-screening.
And pre-screening too. So they're before someone is accepted to Padsplit, they are looking to see, number one, if they can afford it. So they are looking at their bank statements. They're looking for paycheck stubs. If they're on a fixed income, they're looking for that information as well. They're also going to do a background check to make sure that they haven't had more than one eviction in 7 years. I know we've had a couple people that we've seen one eviction on there, and when you talk to them, it's always like, oh, this was during COVID. So we all know how hard that was for a lot of people, and people with the need for affordable housing were really hit hard during that time as well. The other thing that they do is they verify their identity. Something recently that they added is before the person would just take a snapshot of their face, and Brian and I always laugh about it, because the men, no matter what, they take their little phone and they don't have their shirt on, and we're like, what? Like, put a shirt on, it's a selfie. So they upload a picture of themselves, and then they have to have a scanned picture of their driver's license. So that's how.
And being a new Padsplit owner, like at first, you've got to kind of take yourself out of who's going to be living there. Sometimes you get photos that people are very rough, and Gina and I chose in our business to trust the Padsplit process. We do a few extra steps and before we accept somebody, but Padsplit spent tons of money to build this tech, and they do a really good job of screening, and also everything's hands-free. So when somebody books, we get a text or an email, and it's a booking request, and so we have time to talk to them. We have 24 hours to accept them. Once they accept the booking, we accept the booking, they can move in next day. So there's no, I want to go see where I'm living.
You're not doing any
that
tours
doesn't happen,
for the people.
It is streamless.
They see based on the professional photos that we've done and do for our houses. So making sure that you get those pretty pictures, and they see the room that they're going to pick, but they don't get to like walk through. They don't even show the actual address of the property as well. They just give you the vicinity, meaning like the crossroads and stuff. But the other thing that hands off that they do, tell them a little bit about the financial standpoint, and in terms of, are we dealing with
we don't deal
down
with any of that
rent or anything like that?
The money goes directly to Padsplit. They take their fee. They charge 8%, and to be quite honest, they earn that 8%. Filling your room and having that occupied all the time is just priceless. So they collect the money, and then at the end of the month, they disperse it to the owners, and it's all they do all the financials on the background. They send you financial reports.
With all the breakdown too of all the fees and everything and the taxes, so you're able to see that, so you can turn that over to your CPA in terms of your
and the whole side of the website, which is the owner side, that's really easy, and it gives you tons of information and percentages and booking rates and all that stuff. So all right, so we went a little bit along on this one, so we're gonna pause this one, and then we're gonna come back for video number 2.